Jeff, Arizona Hot Homestead here, and today is on Concho's Corner. I want to talk about a question that has been asked since day one. How did you find your property? Well, I tell you what, to be honest, the list is like miles long. It's like 28 million things you got to consider. Alright, I might be exaggerating by one or two. But the bottom line is, I'm going to talk a little bit about some things that you want to look at in looking for your property. And by no means is this a priority list, and I'm going to leave out a million things. So basically what you want to think about in looking for your property, if it's for a bug out place, if it's for a homestead, if you want to farm it, if you want to live off grid, or however way you want it to work, a cabin, a second home, whatever. Here are some things to think about, and that is be patient. Be very patient. That took over 5 years to find this piece of property. And when you think you found it, relax. There's a better one right around the corner. So, to find your property, look on things like Craigslist. A lot of for sale by owners will list it on Craigslist. Even check Realtor.com. That's how I found mine. When a realtor, at least in Arizona, when a realtor lists a property for sale, that it actually appears on multiple websites. So check that out. Even for sale by owner, I think, has their own website, for salebyowner.com. Even check that out. I know it's mainly for houses and things, but check it anyhow. And you're probably looking for maybe vacant land, raw land. You might find something with something already on it that actually, better fits your needs. But basically, I'm going to talk about vacant land mostly. So check out those. I think there's like a land and ranch website too you can check out. But just be patient. Explore. One thing that you want to do is find out the location. Don't go by the pictures, because sometimes I've noticed the pictures are so generic. Go to find out the location, and then go on Google and actually do, was it Google Maps or satellite imaging or Earth or whatever, and get the view of the land, the bird's eye view, and then zoom in as close as you possibly can. And you want to look at that terrain. Some of the things that you're looking for is trees. How tall are the trees? What type of trees are there? If they're too tall, you may not be able to do solar. And if there's no trees, well, that means there may be pretty windy too. What else you want to look for? You want to look at the neighbors even. Look at other people who live in that area, and see what type of lifestyle that they have on their property. Are they farming? Are they doing some gardening? Are they doing some do they have animals? Or do they just have a bunch of junk cars on their property? Or do they have travel trailers? Or do they have a regular home or a mobile home or tiny houses or whatever the case may be? Explore that kind of stuff. See the way others are living. Because that gives you an idea of how you can live, and then just continue to explore. Check out the road conditions. From that Google Earth, you can pretty much tell that, hey, where they say a road is, there's a tree in the middle of the road. Well, that means it's a really old road, so it's probably not maintained. So you can kind of get an idea of the roads being maintained or not. If it's off-road to the property or it's a well-conditioned road, but you're looking for just little things like that. You want to look at even the surrounding area. Check out local towns and cities and things. What you're looking for is hospitals. What if some medical thing happens on your property? You would need to get to a hospital pretty fast. If you're 200 miles away, that may matter. If you're 50, that may be better. Also, lumber stores, hardware stores, even grocery stores. I know you grow your own food, but a grocery store before you can start growing your own food. Department stores, different things like that, so that you have an idea how far you have to travel to get to this place. Gas stations, even propane. What about filling up those small propane tanks? You know, the grill size and the little larger ones. What about even propane service? What about even well? Get in touch with a well driller. A lot of times they'll give you a free estimate. Like mine was 800 feet and it was over 20 grand. I talked to a few other people in the area, some other locals, and that was very reasonable actually. So check out that kind of stuff. Find out where you're going to buy your solar. Are you just going to buy it on land, or are you going to buy it over the internet, or is there someplace local? Like I have, you know, I've got what's it called, Alternative Energy Discount, which is a non-profit. He gets all the stuff, you know, for me basically, so I can go to him, and it's a lot cheaper than getting it on the internet, and it's a non-profit, so I don't even have to pay sales tax. So it's pretty cool. What else to consider? Check out the county's website. With the county's website, a lot of times they'll have moving to or relocating to or something like that, and it will give you some ideas of what it might be like there at your in that area, what what services are available and things. You even want to look out for, and Arizona's famous for this, about homeowners association, except they're more of a landowner association out in a lot of areas. There's a beautiful area, and I almost bought it until I found out that there was an association with it, and they maintain the road, and the cost of that extra association, which is just another layer of government, was pretty costly, and so I backed off of it. So you want to consider that, because not only do you got to get, the local government to approve some of your building, but you got to get their approval first. And they are a lot more strict than the government is. So you want to consider if there's association related to it. Who maintains the roads? Are you going to have to maintain it? The half a mile of road of mine, actually the last 3/4 road of mine, I have to maintain that myself. County's not going to do it for me. So those are things that you got to consider. Even how are you going to maintain it? Is there a way that you can rent, or some of the graders and a rock to throw down on the road? Is there someone you can buy that from? You want to look at these little things. A great resource is a realtor. Get in touch with a realtor and just say, hey, I'm looking to move in. This is the type of stuff I'm looking for, and they're going to send you some information, but they're also going to tell you what you can and can't do, which is outstanding, because they work in that area. They sell property in that area. They have a pretty good idea of where to get some of these resources. Where to look for some of these resources. But yeah, those are just a few things that you want to consider when you're looking at your property. Like water. If the well is too costly, are you going to do a rain catchment, or is there a well nearby that you can be part of or buy from? But there's so many things to consider. But probably the biggest advice I can give anyone who's out there looking for property is just be patient. Just relax. Don't pull that trigger too fast. Make sure it's the right thing. The second most important thing is go visit the property. Don't buy it sight unseen. Don't go by photos. And show up. Touch the soil and put it in your hand and actually touch the trees and plants and things that may be on the property, and then do this. Imagine it raining. What's it going to look like when you have an inch of rain, 5 inches of rain, 10 inches of rain? What about snow? How's it going to affect the roads and the property itself? You want to look at check out the weather websites, and you want historical data for the weather. You want to look at the highs and the lows. You want to look at the averages. for temperatures and rain and snowfall and all kinds of stuff. Even things like wind. What about extreme weather like tornadoes and hurricanes and even earthquakes and things like that. Even wildfires. What's the likeliness of a wildfire? When was the last one? Things like that. A lot of things that you want to consider, because you don't want to get on your property and then have it dump 2-3 inches of rain, and then you find out, oh my gosh, I can't get out of my property now. My road is awash. Well, you would have known that if you would have paid attention earlier. So save yourself a lot of headache later by just taking your time and doing your research and just be deliberate when making your purchase. So hopefully that kind of helps you guys out in picking out some property. And this is Jeff with Concho's Corner. Enjoy your day. Thank you for watching my video today. If you liked the video, give it that good old thumbs up thing and share the video with others. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and click on this over here to subscribe and check out my other videos over here. I love reading your comments, so if you haven't made a comment, go ahead and do so. My name is Jeff, and you've been watching Arizona Hot Homestead.